welcome to Jamie deRoy and Friends. I'm Jamie deRoy.
And I'm Barry Kleinbord.
And today we start you off with Bob Fosse's Dancin'. This revival is directed by Wayne Cilento, who was in the original cast of Dancin'.
The musical originally was on Broadway in 1978, and it was created by Oscar, Tony, and Emmy award-winning director and choreographer Bob Fosse, and it was directed as a dance show, something that was very unusual for Broadway at the time. It wasn't a compilation of things he had done from his shows, and here it is again.
And it's just terrific. It's playing at the Music Box Theater. Here is a look at I Wanna Be a Dancin' Man. The revival of A Doll's House has been extended already through June 10th. It plays at the Hudson Theater.
This is a new working of the Henrik Ibsen classic, and the new script is by Amy Herzog and is directed by Jamie Lloyd. But the story is still, even as 150 years old, still timely.
And it stars Oscar Award winner Jessica Chastain as Nora.
And Aria Moyed as Torvald, her husband.
Parade has recently opened at the Jacobs Theater. This production started at New York City Center. It's written by Oscar, Tony, and Pulitzer Prize winner Alfred Urey. The score is by Tony Award winner Jason Robert Brown, and the production is directed beautifully by Michael Arden.
It was originally directed by the man who's won more Tonys than anybody else, Harold Prince, and its story, based on fact, is unfortunately still timely today.
Leo Frank, a Jewish man living in the South, was wrongly accused of murder. He is played by Tony and Grammy Award winner Ben Platt. His wife is Michaela Diamond.
Life of Pi, a stage adaptation of a famous novel by Jan Martel, adapted by Lolita Chakrabarty, has opened at the Schoenfeld Theater.
It was also an amazing film. And this production,
right, Ang Lee.
What? Oh,
Ang
right,
Lee
yes.
was the director.
And this production is so amazing, and the puppetry is just beyond. The cast is terrific. It is playing at the Schoenfeld Theater, as you said, and here is a look at the life of Pi. Primary Stages has just opened its latest production. It's Judy Gold's Yes, I Can Say That. It's directed by B.D. Wong, and it plays at 59E59. It's written by Judy Gold and Eddie Safferty.
And it's an adaptation of her book, Yes, I Can Say That. It's a one-woman show.
One-woman show, and it is quite terrific. She's very outspoken. She's funny, but it's very timely.
Soho Rep and National Asian American Theater Company are extending the run of their new play, Public Obscenities, at the Soho Rep.
Yes, it is extended through April 16th. It is the only bilingual play that I am aware of.
Well, at the moment, it's in Bangla and English, which is an unusual pairing for off-Broadway these days.
Absolutely.
Stranger Sings, the parody musical, is extending its run. The book, music, and lyrics are by Jonathan Hogue, and it's directed by Nick Flatto.
And it's based on the Netflix series Stranger Things. It's been extended through April 30th at Theater 46 at St. Luke's Theater.
Let's take a look.
Blackouts never happen without reason. What's going on in our little town? Just take our big concern as exposition. The stranger things are happening here in August. Here in August. Here in August.
The New York theater community would be at a great loss if it weren't for Jonathan Bank and the Mint Theater Company bringing back lost gems.
Yes, they really find these plays that haven't been seen in decades, and this was no exception. They did Becomes a Woman by Betty Smith, who was most famous for writing a novel called A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. As always, the Mint Theater gave it their best. Always wonderful sets, costumes, and period details. Long live the Mint.
The smash hit musical comedy parody Titanic has been extended through September 10th at the Darrell Roth Theater.
The show is a parody of the movie Titanic, and it uses the songs of Celine Dion. And this is one of those shows that I've never heard anybody say they didn't love.
Hey, take my hand.
Okay.
Step up on the ledge.
All right.
Close your eyes.
What?
Hold on to the railing. Keep your eyes closed, don't peek.
I'm scared, Jack.
Well, do you trust me?
Trust you? I barely know you.
Oh, okay. Well, what's your sign?
Leo.
Favorite color?
Burnt sienna.
Cool. Well, now that we know each other a little better, there's no need to be scared, Rose. Do you trust me?
I trust you, Jack.
6, 7,
8, 9,
Take
10,
me
11, 12.
back into the arms I love. Need me like you did before. Touch me once again and remember when there was no one that you wanted more. See me as if you never knew. Hold me so you can't let go. Just believe in me. I will make you see all the things that your heart needs to know. I'll be waiting for you here inside my heart. I'm the one who wants to love you more. You will see I can give you everything you need. Let me be the one to
This week we have a special category, special events. And one of the special events is on PBS. It's Black Broadway. It is with the American Pop Orchestra under the direction of Luke Frazier. It celebrates all of Black Broadway. Let's take a look and tune in to PBS Passport anytime to catch this.
Black Broadway, a proud history, a limitless future. Join us for an unforgettable concert celebrating iconic performances and roles made famous by Black actors. We pay tribute to this rich history and lift up the next generation of Black Broadway stars with performances and appearances by Corbin Bleu, Nikki Renee Daniels, Stephanie Mills, Brian Stokes Mitchell, and more with the American Pops Orchestra, only on PBS.
Recently, at the Roundabout Gala, they highlighted their education program, and they were kind enough to share the video with us. So let's take a look.
My name is Ashley St. Juliet. I'm from East Flatbush, Brooklyn. My experience with education at Roundabout shaped me personally because I now have an ecosystem of people. Sometimes we need something to give us permission. It gave me a space to understand, like, no, you are worthy in what you have to say. It's valid and it matters.
Roundabout harnesses the power of theater to make change in children's lives.
Our education programs are focused on using theater to promote social equity, and we do that through 3 core program areas. The first is teaching and learning, using theater to enhance teacher practice.
It was through professional development opportunities with Roundabout Theater that I actually incorporated much more into my pedagogical toolbox.
A lot of it is watching them become more confident in themselves as professionals, someone who can speak up in a meeting, someone who can express their ideas, someone who can manage a project with their peers and see it through to completion. That's what I love about doing this work.
The second area is career training, which is focused on connecting early career professionals to jobs in the professional theater industry.
I'm from the Bronx. I went to an information session and I was like, I think this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be. Now I have a sense of what I want to do with my life. Before being introduced to Roundabout, I had no sense at all. I am primarily a lighting technician and carpenter. Right now I work at the New 42 as a technical coordinator.
They're getting jobs in production. They're getting jobs backstage. They have a future of working in the theater, a future that they wouldn't have but for Roundabout Education and the workforce program.
The last area of our programming is our community partnership and audience engagement work. If you can share your own lived experience and perspective in context of what you just saw, there can be some really great moments of connection. That might be a community conversation where the audience can talk to each other. It might be a talk back with the actors or a lecture with an expert. It is all focused on deepening the audience's engagement with that piece.
It's making live performance an important part of the conversation of how do we be Americans? How do we be together? How do we be New Yorkers? How do we be global citizens? How do we be a place where everybody can come?
The future of education at Roundabout is to continue to build on these incredible programs that we've developed over the last 3 decades. It's an opportunity for us to help shape the future of the theater industry in ways that more accurately reflect the communities that we live in.
When we think about particularly communities of color in New York City, the access to theater is a huge piece. Being able to build more of that in enables us to have greater level of engagement and also just more possibilities. We know the power of the work that we're doing. We know it, we live it, we see it. But we also know that we need support in order for that kind of work to grow.
You should support education at Roundabout now to help open the doors for so many young individuals like myself who may not be aware of the opportunities available within our industry.
We need moments of connection, collaboration, joy, community. Theater does that.
Experiences that you enjoy when you go to the theater in New York City, those things couldn't happen if there weren't steps that preceded that. That's why I will support education at Roundabout. Because if you love that work, that's how you can be a part of it.
It's Easter time, and Easter means one thing to me, the Easter Bonnet Competition, which is at the Minskoff Theater on April 24th and 25th. This is the first time it's back in a theater since 2019.
It's my favorite fundraiser that Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS puts on. And it's always fantastic. So here is a look at the 2019 highlights.
Take it anymore. And I'm not gonna take it anymore. I am mad as hell, and I'm not taking any more of this.
Well, it makes me mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. $778, a new Easter bonnet record.
Now it's time for Cabaret Roundup. These are highlights for the spring. Kate Baldwin and Aaron Lazar will be at 54 Below April 12th through the 14th.
And over at Birdland, Penny Fuller and Anita Gillette are doing a new edition of their show Sin Twisters. This is Sin Twisters, The Next Frontier, on April 17th with Paul Greenwood at the piano. And who's their director again?
I do believe it's you, Barry Kleinbort.
That's right, it's me. And again, these two women who are two of the great ladies of the American theater and musical theater, and coming together, it's always an event and always a surprise for me too.
At the Cafe Carlisle for 2 nights only, April 18th and 19th, Christine Andreas brings her new show, Two for the Road, to the club.
At Green Room 42, Sharon McKnight, who is a MAC Lifetime Achievement Award winner, is doing her show Surviving Cabaret on April 13th and 15th. Her musical director is James Followell.
At Don't Tell Mama on April 16th, 24th, and May 1st is one of our favorite singer-songwriters, John Forster.
His new show is called Too Clever by 20%.
We have John singing my favorite song of his, Entering Marion.
Every year I drive out to Cape Cod for the last part of June. Leave the city by 10 and you're there in the late afternoon. On the way, there's a village called Marion that you pass through. The first time I approached it, I'll always remember the sign that came into view. It said, "Entering Marion." And I thought, what a fun little sign. But the feeling of entering Marion had a kick that was hard to define. A rapturous rush, a physical flush, chills up and down the spine. For the few minutes I was in Marion, oh, Massachusetts was mine. Then one year, who knows why, I decided to try a new route. So I got out my map and I traced one I thought was a butte. After driving all morning, I came to the top of a hill, where a sign stood before me that promised a new kind of thrill. It said, "Entering Beverly," which was lovely and not overbuilt. And the pleasure of entering Beverly far outweighed any feelings of guilt. I could say I'm contrite, but it wouldn't be right, for the truth is that later that day, I found myself entering Sharon. It was there, so was I. We enjoyed it, hey, what can I say? By the next year, I'd try any route just for novelty's sake. I was cursed with a thirst that no single township could slake. Oh, at the wheel, I looked calm, but inside I was running amok. When a sign in the road dead ahead sent me straight into shock. Entering Lawrence. My God, I was out of control. I'd no sooner finished with Lawrence than boom, I was entering Lowell. Then I backtracked and re-entered Lawrence, then Quincy and Norton as well. Around midnight I pulled into Ethel and flopped in a Fleabag motel. I slept fitfully till the dawn was breaking, wrestling with this promiscuous road I'd been taking. Then, wending my way into Darien, a name came clear as a clarion. I turned on a dime, and in 2 hours' time, I was entering Marion. How totally, wonderfully great, how grand to be entering Marion after tramping all over the state. Every sleaze bucket burb, every tryst by the curb had really just helped me to find I'm happiest entering Marion. I guess I'm the Marion kind. Oh yes, I'm the Marion kind.
To close our show, the longest-running Broadway musical in history is finally closing its doors on April 16th. The Phantom of the Opera, playing at the Majestic Theater, wraps it up.
This is a legendary musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Charles Hart and Richard Stilgoe, based on the famous novel by Gaston Leroux. And it was originally directed by Harold Prince, and the designs by Maria Bjornson are they still just take my breath away whenever I see this musical. So it was worth having around for 36 years.
I went to the 30th anniversary, and it was still amazingly in great shape, and still is to this day. Luckily, we have a look for you. Here is some wonderful footage from The Phantom of the Opera.
In sleep he sang to me, in dreams he
Phantom of the Opera, he's there. your mind.